Yay na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Yay na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Adonai selichot bochen levavot gole amnukot dover tzedakot חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו עבדו בנפלאות ותיק בנחמות זוכר ברית אבות חוקר כליות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו יאי נה 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 יא נה 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 יאי נה 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 יא נה 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 נה.
I'm Rabbi Jessica Kirshner, the director of Hillel at Stanford, and it is so nice to be with you, even though we are not quite in our usual space. The greeting for Yom Kippur is Chatima Tova, may you be sealed for goodness, or may you be well sealed. This is a year that already in some ways feels like it's had too much sacrifice. So whether you are physically fasting or not, I hope that this is a year when you have some ease, when you find some spaciousness, where you're able to take the next 24 hours and reflect deeply on where you've been, who you've been, and where you want to be and who you want to be in the coming year. It is my deep hope that we will continue to cleave to that which is highest and best in all of us and in our Jewish tradition, and that before much longer, we will be able to be together again. Hatima Tova.
Hi, my name is Dan. I study statistics. One of the most valuable skills I've gained during my PhD is the ability to hold and understand multiple competing theories and perspectives at once. Now, this is a valuable skill as a statistician because we're constantly forced to quantify different competing effects and relationships between variables in the data. So a rabbinic midrash that really spoke to me is about the famous argument between Hillel and Shammai, where at some point a heavenly voice declares that both the words of Hillel and the words of Shammai are the words of the living God. And I think this speaks to the value of debate and disagreement. But ultimately, Hillel's camp became, most of Hillel's rules became Jewish law, halachic law. And I think one of the reasons for this is because Hillel's camp was much more humble, open-minded, and willing to study the arguments of their opponents. So Hillel's outlook is valuable now, both to me as a statistician, trying to seek truth from data, and as a citizen in an increasingly polarized society. And in this period of cheshbon hanefesh, I'd like to invite you both as individuals and as communities to reflect on this. Gmar Chatima Tova.
Hi everyone, my name is Cami. I'm a rising senior, and I was asked to reflect on my previous Jewish Learning Fellowship experience. So as we come across Yom Kippur, I thought that I would share a quote from the Chief Rabbi's Haggadah in 2007, where he said, "The Jewish castle is built not of bricks or stone, but of words. But it too has been preserved across the centuries, handed on by one generation to the next." So as we approach our fast, or however we choose to celebrate Yom Kippur, I'm wishing you all a Gimat Chatirat Torah, where we can share the same traditions, the same values as our ancestors, and hopefully all be inscribed in the Book of Life.
One of the most powerful moments in our Yom Kippur services is around the Piyut Kol Nidre. It's this gorgeous melody, and we are sometimes carried away by its power. And I feel so fortunate that we have with us on this video several of the musicians and the Shlichei Tzibur, the service leaders, who helped to make this such a compelling spiritual moment when we are together. Kol Nidre is a fascinating and problematic prayer. At its heart, it's a negation of vows. It's a way of saying, as a community and as individuals who are part of communities, that we are not always able to fulfill all of our promises, that we fall short, that we aren't always in control of our circumstances, and that we feel this shortcoming deeply and commit to ourselves, commit to each other, and commit before God to be better and different in the coming year. It's a blessing that has caused actually remarkable suffering for the Jewish people over history. It was taken as a sign that Jews couldn't be trusted, and there were incredible persecutions that were connected to its existence, and sometimes rabbis tried to get rid of it because of the problems that it caused. But the Jewish people over and over again refused to let this happen, because the spiritual opportunity that it creates, the openness, the acknowledgement that we fall short of who we want to be. Every year, and again this year, and yet we are committed to being better, to doing better, to being in deeper relationship, and to living up to our vision of our highest selves, of God's vision of our highest selves. It's a spiritual need that is addressed by this blessing, and hopefully by the melodies and the words that you are about to hear.
Kol nidre ve'asarei u'shavue מיום כיפורים שעבר עד יום כיפורים זה הבא עלינו הבא Shriking Chevitin, Betelin Vutalim, La Sharirin Vela Kayarin, Nidrana la nidre vesaravala esare Shavuatana la 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 Kol nidre mesarei v'charamei v'konamei v'chinuyei v'kinusei u'shvuot dindana udishtevana udiacharimna mediasana anavshatana miyom kippurim zeh ad yom kippurim haba aleinu letova kol hon icharad na vehon kol hon, yehon sharan, shevikin shevitin, betelin umevutalin, asheririn velakayamin, nidrana la nidre, mesarana la esare, ushvuatana la Shavuot.
We decided to give our High Holy Days this year a theme, a way of organizing our thoughts and feelings. And obviously the text of these holy days is incredibly rich, but the theme that we selected, because it's the one that I think each of us on the staff team felt we needed the most, it's what we heard from our student leaders that they needed, and I think it's really what we all need right now, is resilience. The idea that while we will be bent, sometimes deeply, painfully bent over by the struggles of this moment, we will not break, and that we are strong enough and have enough different kinds of strength that we will bounce back. And one of those strengths is the spiritual strength that is provided by an ongoing relationship with God, by connecting with each other as a community at these times, and by taking the incredible technology of our tradition and turning that on ourselves to reflect, to think, to renew, to be restored, and ultimately to be resilient, to survive this time so that we can continue to thrive now and in the future. In this, I'm reminded of redwood trees, which are an image of my childhood, having grown up here in Northern California, and have taken on a special resonance for me since I came to work at Stanford, in part because our symbol as a school is a tree, these immense sequoias, these redwoods that are such towering beauties. And I remember being a child at my summer camp that was full of redwoods, and that was just so magical to be a tiny person among this immense beauty, to be able to look up at these trees and feel so small and yet so protected at the same time. And some of the trees there, you could stand inside of them. They were almost hollowed out, and they were black inside, they were scorched by fire, and yet they also had green shoots at the bottom, at the tips of their leaves. These trees had survived for hundreds of years, through fire, through drought, through devastation, through all kinds of suffering. And yet the soul of the tree, the heart of the tree, the life of the tree was still preserved. And I could stand there, a very small person among that immense greatness, this majesty of nature, and touch those scorch marks and know that survival and thriving is possible even after incredible suffering. And I want to say that is my blessing this year. That's my hope and my prayer for all of our trees, for our physical trees out in the world, particularly at this time of fire, but also for each of our Stanford trees, for you beautiful souls who are now at home and all over the world, but who are also always still connected to this space, that you have that same sense of resilience, and that you are able to find within yourself, within our tradition, and in relationship with each other, the resilience that you need to thrive.